लगी है इन दिनों,
पानी में आग लगी है इन दिनों,
जंगल 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 में आग लगी है इन दिनों,
सूरज के ताप से सागर के भाप से,
सूरज के ताप से सागर के भाप से,
सूरज के ताप से सागर के भाप से।
Azim Premji University is in the pursuit of developing creative, outstanding and socially committed professionals for development sectors in India. The students are trained in the classroom through lectures, seminars and workshops. The field component of the MA development program gives the students the opportunity to explore the field, critically view current practices, understand the implementation of the program on the ground and contribute to the ongoing practice of policy issues. A group of 6 students are geared up for a 15-day field trip from the state of Karnataka to the state of Uttarakhand.
बहुत खुशी हो रही है आज कि अपने उत्तराखंड को समझने के लिए, अपने उत्तराखंड के पर्यावरण को समझने के लिए, अपने उत्तराखंड के सोशो कल्चरल एस्पेक्ट को समझने के लिए और यहाँ के पॉलिटिक्स को समझने के लिए हम लोग इतने दूर से यहाँ पर आए।
I think it is going to give us a great scope for next 10-15 days to learn much of things. Whatever the agenda we had to study about environment, energy, crafts, livelihood.
Uttarakhand, a place of origin of the holy Ganga and Yamuna. Many small streams called tributaries join the Bhagirathi, which flows down and become a part of our spiritual world as the Mother Ganga. 4 parallel falls that run across the state from southeast to northwest divide it into 5 regions: the plains, the outer Himalayas, the central thrust, the high Himalayas and the trans Himalayas. Glaciers, mountains, hills, agricultural lands and wildlife makes it diverse in every sense. The legacy of Chandi Prasad, Sarala Behan, Radha Behan, Sundarlal Bahuguna is written all over the movements like the National Movement, Kuli Behar Movement, Beach Bachao Andolan, Chipko Movement and the recent Nadi Bachao Andolan.
ये उत्तराखंड राज्य है। ये हमारे देश की पार्लियामेंट ने 2000 में बनाया। इस राज्य को प्राप्त करने के लिए लोगों ने बहुत बड़ा आंदोलन किया। 1952 से ही इस राज्य की पृथक राज्य के रूप में मांग चल रही थी।
Earlier part of the Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand as a separate state was formed in the year 2000 after decades of continuous struggle and movements with a vision of better management of its natural resources. However, 10 years down the line and many governments, the situation seems worse.
Our planners who became the ruler, who became the planner, who became the policy maker, they were the same. Earlier they were making plans in the Lucknow and again now they are making plans in the and they don't have any different ideas. They are not with the different ideas.
Subsequent governments have tried to make Uttarakhand an energy state or the Urja Pradesh. Many social activists claim that this created the perfect setting for various players to exploit its natural resources.
बीच में जब ये राज्य बना तो इसको ऊर्जा प्रदेश बना दिया गया है। इसको एनर्जी हब डिक्लेयर किया गया। सरकार ने कहा ये ऊर्जा प्रदेश होगा। ऊर्जा प्रदेश का मतलब ये हम समझ नहीं पाए थे पहले, और जब हमने उसको समझने का प्रयास किया तो भाई उसमें तो ये था कि 2006 तक जो हमने समझा कि लगभग सभी नदियों पर 220 बांध बनने हैं, टनल डैम।
Was it the right perspective of development this young state had to take? What were the real reasons behind the formation of the state?
अभी उत्तराखंड राज्य में स्थिति ये है कि ये जो राज्य बना, स्टेट जो बना, यहाँ जो एनआर जो नेचुरल रिसोर्स है उसका एक्सप्लॉयटेशन कैसे आसानी से हो उसके लिए व्यवस्था बनी हुई है। फर्स्ट क्लास स्टेट बना हुआ है, स्टेट फॉर्मेट हुआ है।
The communities here have been using the water sources for domestic purposes for generations now. But what is special is that thousands of eco-friendly garages set up across the state have helped them to use the flow of the river in an innovative manner to carry out small tasks like small-scale power generation and grinding. In the 90s, the Teri Dam project took shape.
With a capacity to generate 2,400 megawatts of electricity and irrigate 6,000 square kilometers of area, this project at 261 meters in height was supposed to be Asia's highest and the world's 6th.
However, foreseeing the submergence of the villages, people were displaced in huge numbers.
And when they started talking about rehabilitation, the whole issue around the Teri Dam gained momentum.
The environmental and social impacts of the project were thus beyond what the people and the scientists could take. The bustling market of Teri finally lay submerged in the waters.
Earlier, Tihri was a market hub, means it was just a center of many districts. But comparatively now, you just go to Tihri, the whole market has been destroyed. They are running out of business. Most of them has, the shops are, the shopkeepers even have migrated towards Rishikesh or Dehradun.
Feasibility report and the detailed project report of the Teri Dam was ready by 1970 or 70. But construction could not begin until almost 2000. Long gestation period, lots of protests, huge dam, lots of villages submerged, lots of people protesting.
Initially, around 4,000 villagers were employed here at the construction site. As the project neared completion, this number went down to 2,500 and then to a mere 250.
टीरी बांध ने सिर्फ ये सिखा दिया लोगों को कि भाई ये बड़ा बांध खतरनाक है। देखो टीरी बांध में मीथेन गैस भरने लग गई है, मीथेन गैस। उसके चारों ओर बहुत बड़ा ज़्यादा दुर्गंध आ रही है, लोग रह नहीं पा रहे हैं। उसका पानी इकट्ठा हो रहा है ना, ऊपर से जितने भी बह करके जा रहे हैं, पत्थर, मिट्टी, ये जो पूरा जो बायो मास जितना भी है ना, ये सब जा करके वो जहर गैस बनाती है ना, उसके अंदर सड़ती है।
This provoked the people to retaliate, to fight back, to stop further projects in the state.
उस समय एक अध्ययन हुआ था, एक स्टडी जैसे आप लोग कर रहे हैं, कि यहाँ के जो रिवर्स हैं या रिवर बेसिन हैं या उससे मिलने वाले जितने भी नाले, नदी, गदेरे जो नदियों को फीडबैक करते हैं, ये कितने हैं? तो इनकी संख्या लगभग 1000 है। 1000 माइक्रो वाटरशेड।
With the existing potential and improving the traditional garage, the power generation capacity can be compounded to 35,000 megawatts, whereas the state's requirement is only around 1,500 megawatts.
और हमारे प्रदेश को कितनी बिजली चाहिए? केवल 1500 मेगावाट। हमारे प्रदेश को, जो हमारी यहाँ जनसंख्या है, केवल 1500 मेगावाट बिजली चाहिए।
The state had other ideas instead. They started constructing smaller hydro projects in a row by diverting the rivers through tunnels to produce the head for the potential energy required. Did the government bother to inform the community this time?
एक प्राइवेट कंपनी आई, स्वाति हाइड्रो पावर जनरेशन था उसका नाम है, और उसने टनल बनाना शुरू कर दिया। गांव के लोगों को नहीं पूछा। ये पहला प्रोजेक्ट था हमारे प्रदेश में, जब लोगों ने कहा था कि निजी कंपनी के स्थान पर, मतलब जो प्राइवेटाइजेशन है उसके आधार पर उसको न करके आप कम्युनिटाइजेशन करो।
The result, the Bhagirathi stretch saw 5 projects sanctioned, each with tunnels for diverting the flow. Across the state, the number of sanctioned tunnels stood at a staggering 558 numbers and about 1,400 kilometers in length. This time, the implications were serious than ever. The water sources, irrigation channels and water mills dried up, choking the villagers.
This is again a stretch of Bhagirathi. The actual factors behind this low amount of water is nothing else but the series of construction of dams across the state of Uttarakhand.
See, here's what is happening is, here's the dam, you put the water behind and you drop it downstream at a powerhouse. This distance from the dam to the powerhouse, the riverbed is dry. So it's a series of ponds connected by tunnels.
The tunnel building process blasted the mountains, leading to cracks and fissures.
Hundreds of dams. And that means hundreds of tunnels.
This is not the only consequence brought by the dam construction in large numbers across the state. The road construction activities have been an ongoing developmental activity in the state for a decade now, and this has disturbed the ecosystem very drastically.
See, when you build a dam, you want to make a tunnel or you want to take your trucks and transport all your materials to the dam site, you have to make roads. You have to make roads, you have to cut forests, right? So a lot of forests, if you get permission to cut 1,000 trees, who's going to come and look? You cut 5,000.
Unarguably, road construction is a necessity here for providing much needed connectivity between far-flung villages and town centers, despite it being a highly uneco-friendly activity.
You can see how they are building the roads, how they are cutting the roads, because the earth movers are very common here now.
Though it is destroying the forests and is no more an eco-friendly development project, still the people need it for mobility. It is also a livelihood opportunity for many.
This construction has been going around for more than 7 years now. I mean, these people have been staying here for more than 7 years.
After talking to these migrant workers, we found out that they get somewhere around 5,200 rupees per month, but they don't have the basic necessities, as in they don't have ration cards. So they are they're unable to get hold of governmental support.
If you can see those shelters there, that is where they work, and I don't think that in this kind of a weather that's enough for them. I mean, they're exposed to extreme conditions here and they don't have access to basic necessities.
मेरे मकान के नीचे तो खुद कटिंग कर रखी है, वो मिट्टी अभी तक पड़ी हुई, 1 साल हो गया है। वो कई बार मेरे पास आ गए, यहाँ पे मिट्टी उठाने दीजिए। मैंने कहा या तो मकान का कंपनसेशन दीजिए या मुझे जो आप रिटर्न में दीजिए, रिटर्न में दीजिए आप मेरे को। आपके मकान को अगर भविष्य में कोई क्षति होगी, इसकी जवाबदारी जो है विभाग।
When you are making a road, say in the middle of a slope, so you blasted the rock and you get boulder which is about the size of 2 cupboards easily. So what you do is you get a dozen people with a lever and you stick it under the rock and you heave it down the slope. When it rolls down the slope, it takes lots of trees with it.
While the road construction saw little or no protests, construction of small hydro projects across the state started hitting roadblocks as protests against them slowly gained momentum.
And almost every single dam that has been built in the last 25 odd years that I have been here, every single one of them has led to slope failure.
Social activists, IIT professors and other well-wishers, along with the local mass, organized statewide protests and awareness campaign against the government's misuse and mismanagement of the natural resources.
अब और प्रोजेक्ट हमारे सामने आए एनवायरनमेंट पे, हाँ, उसका जब खुद हमने समझा बात को कि भाई क्या है तो उसमें ये था कि इसमें तो रिहेबिलिटेशन ज़्यादा हो रहा है, तो रिहेबिलिटेशन ज़्यादा हो रहा है, लोगों के प्रोटेक्शन की कोई गारंटी नहीं है, कोई R&R पॉलिसी सरकार के पास नहीं है। सरकार प्राइवेट कंपनी के साथ मिलकर के जो एग्रीमेंट कर रही है उसमें पंचायती राज इंस्टीट्यूशंस का PRA का जो है जो राइट्स है उसको दबाया जा रहा है। यहाँ के जो लोग हैं, जो पीपुल्स हैं, कम्युनिटी हैं, उनका जीवन और जीविका, जो मैं बार बार कह रहा हूँ, लाइफ और लाइवलीहुड कैसे चलेगा, इसलिए ये जो नदी बचाओ सेव रिवर कैंपेन।
But the bigger question is that did these movements in the name of Save River campaign yield the desired results? Thanks to these movements, many power projects across the state came to a halt. The Lohari Nagpala, one of the 5 projects across Bhagirathi, shuts down midway.
This is the Lohari Nagpala hydro power project of the National Thermal Power Corporation of India. This is a major project. This is a 600 megawatt project, hydroelectricity project, and this is a tunnel which is leading to a power generation unit. And as we have already said, the project is scrapped.
Good. But what lies behind the Lohari Nagpala shutdown is a story untold. A story of bigger politics and power struggles.
कि आंदोलन की भाषा को चेंज कैसे किया जाता है। कारण ये था कि केंद्र में कांग्रेस की सरकार, कांग्रेस ने क्या किया उसी दौर में कि भाई गंगा को राष्ट्रीय नदी घोषित कर दिया, नदी बचाओ अभियान के बाद, आपको पता है ना। उस समय हरिद्वार में फिर आंदोलन शुरू हो गया कि साहब ये बड़े अच्छा हो गया। अब भाजपा की सरकार उत्तराखंड में है, इसको लगा अरे हमें क्या मिलेगा, यहाँ तो नदी बचाओ अभियान भी चला, इन्होंने स्पर्श गंगा अभियान चलाया।
The movement Nadi Bachao Andolan down the stream got popularized as the Ganga Bachao Andolan, and with it, a new vigor got attached to it. After all, it is religious beliefs that are at stake.
पॉलिटिकल सिनेरियो देखो, लोग कैसे कैसे तोड़ते हैं। और फिर हेमा मालिनी को यहाँ बुलाया गया, उसको ब्रांड एम्बेसडर बना दिया गया। बताओ हेमा मालिनी का यहाँ क्या मतलब था? आप में से किसी को यदि यहाँ उत्तराखंड में बुला दिया जाए और तुमको ब्रांड एम्बेसडर बना दिया जाए, आप लोग नहीं है बड़े नाम वाले, तो क्या मतलब है उसका? भाई मतलब ये होना चाहिए कि यहाँ पर तो सुशीला भंडारी थी, यहाँ पर राधा बहन थी, यहाँ पर कई लोग, हम लोग आंदोलन, हम लोगों से बात करते हैं, हम लोगों से बात नहीं की सरकार ने, क्योंकि वहाँ केंद्र के घोषणा के बाद राज्य सरकार को लगा कि हमारा क्या होगा, तो उन्होंने हमारे साथ सबसे बड़ी मदद की कि लोहारी नाग बंद करा दिया।
The same central government machineries which ignored the cries of the people from the hills who protested for their existence swung into action now. We call it nothing but spiritual awakening. The state government, now feeling left out, did their part too. They shut down the Lohari Nathwala project.
जो 5 पांडव हैं हमारी पौराणिक संस्कृति है। इसमें जो है 5 पांडव होते हैं और एक जो होती है उनके साथ द्रौपदी होती है। और ये जो इस गांव की जो है इस गांव का वो फेमस देवता है, सब लोग उसको मानते हैं, आस्था रखते हैं। अभी आपने देखा होगा कि एक जेंट्स वहाँ पे आए थे और पैर में उनके बहुत दर्द था, वो चल नहीं पा रहे थे, बिल्कुल वो लट्ठी के सहारे आए। लेकिन जैसे ही हमारे 5 पांडवों ने उनके ऊपर हाथ फेरा तो एकदम से वो वहाँ पे नाचने लग गए, ठीक हो गए। इसलिए ये हमारी आस्था है और ये हमारे 5 पांडव हैं, ये बहुत ही हम लोग इसको मानते हैं।
When we came across this famous ritual, there was a startling coincidence with the ongoing developmental activity in the state of Uttarakhand, where the natural resource is Draupadi and the state politicians and private parties exploiting them, the Kauravas. The civil society who tried to protect it undoubtedly take the role of Pandavas. The legend says that Pandavas defeated Kauravas finally and restored the kingdom. In real life, however, whether the civil society would succeed is a wait and watch game.
After the dust of the movements had settled down, the risks and damages to the life and livelihood was felt at various levels of the community. However, the government claims that there is still no capability to do a holistic assessment process of environmental and social impact.
By now, we know that many social activists like G.D. Agrawal and Chandri Prasad Bhatt had protested in various project sites, resulting them shutting down. However, government official claims that there are still no proper expertise for the holistic impact assessment.
It is this reason that the High Court has banned further such hydro projects until a holistic assessment process is done across the state. Such an impact assessment is expected to take at least 10 years, while the government is trying to find a suitable and reliable source to do this. With the small hydro projects and big dam projects in the back burner and rising energy needs, somebody had to come up with alternatives. People involved claim there are 2 ways ahead. Alternative approaches and technology includes using better equipments and refined approaches to build dams with minimum damage to the environment.
The thing is, it is possible to make power plants, hydropower, and save your rivers. You will require different types of equipment and you will require different types of technologies for making the dam. Today, typically the Indian engineers believe that it's enough to leave 1 or 2% water flowing in the river. हम लोग कह रहे हैं कि Himalayan region में you should leave 70% or more. It does not mean that you will lose 69% of power. If you are smart, you change your technology and you change your management, then you can end up losing only 10%. So it reduces profits, and that's why companies don't want to do that.
Upgrading the traditional garages in the region is a second suggestion.
क्योंकि हम तो ऐसा विकास चाहते हैं जिसमें रिहेबिलिटेशन न हो। ऐसा विकास होना चाहिए कि जिसमें लोगों को अपने घर ज़मीन न छोड़ना पड़े। यहाँ पर 10,000 घराट हैं, 16,000 नहरें हैं, उसको मल्टीपर्पज़ बनाओ, उसे बिजली और पानी के काम को भी जोड़ो, उसे सिंचाई के काम को जोड़ो, उसे पेयजल को भी जोड़ो और 35,000 मेगावाट बिजली बनाओ। और हमको केवल 1,500 मेगावाट बिजली चाहिए। बाकी बिजली आप उद्योगों को दे दो, उत्तर प्रदेश को भेज दो, दिल्ली को भेज दो और लखनऊ को भेज दो, उसको भेज दो, उसको भेज, दुनिया भर को भेज दो, पैसा कमाओ। तो उसमें प्रदेश नहीं टूटेगा, हिमालय नहीं टूटेगा, बचा रहेगा।
The state has thousands of garages or traditional water mills. The proposal here is to upgrade these traditional mills to generate electricity in small scales. The river is diverged through small open canals to the turbines. generating power amounting to 50 kilowatt, 75 kilowatt, 1 megawatt, 1.5 megawatt and so on. The water is then allowed to flow back into the main river. This process involves no big tunnels, no submerging of villages and no displacement. The natural flow of the river is thus maintained and would cause no ecological imbalances. These gharats collectively have a capacity to produce 35,000 megawatts of electricity. The state requirement a mere 1,500 megawatts.
Struggles against projects of building dams and generating electricity across the state. In such a scenario, such an organization like the Uttarakhand Renewable Energy Development Agency, which is a nodal agency of the Uttarakhand government, which focuses on renewable energy and micro hydel projects, gains so much of importance.
However, in a state where water is the biggest renewable source and the entire crisis that rocked the state revolves around the usage of this source, what role does UREDA have? Here comes the difference from similar organizations across India. The focus of UREDA is to tap solar energy and build micro hydel projects, a modern day variant of the Gharat. The working of the organization is also a novel idea, focusing on not-for-profit schemes. It has also done a commendable job in involving the community in generating power as well as sharing income. This raises the question that when there is enough capacity to generate the required power for the state through non-harming eco-friendly projects, why go for small and huge dams? While we talk about climate change and glacier melting at the global level, is there a conscious effort at the local level in the Himalayas to reduce this? What efforts are being made to regulate the developmental projects considering their proximity to the glaciers?
यहाँ पर आप देखिए, जो यदि ये ग्लेशियर सूखते हैं उससे होगा तो हम जो बॉर्डर एरिया में रहने वाले लोग हैं हम क्लाइमेट रिफ्यूजी बन जाएंगे.
The basic principle of sustainable hydropower production is that you don't try to maximize the production of power, you optimize.
At the end of this whole development activity, we also have the larger question that whether the holy river Ganga and its water is seen as a natural resource or a pure economic resource. Rivers are nature's gift. Anybody and everybody who had claimed the waters or have stood by it have used it for their own benefits.
गंगोत्री जाइए, जितना मल मूत्र है सब सीधा नदी में जाए.
ना यहाँ तो इसमें गंदा बहुत आता है. इसमें पॉलीथीन, लाश, डेड बॉडी, गाय, पशु सब लोग इसमें डाल देते हैं. कम पानी रहते ही सूख जाते हैं, सड़ा नहीं बदबू आ जाते हैं.
The concept of new economy, the concept of new development created a kind of authenticity for the human being that is used. It's a resource.
और जो ये नदी है हमारी पवित्र नदी है, जिसको कि राजा भगीरथ ने काफ़ी तपस्या करके धरती पे लाए और ये डैम बनाने की वजह से ये नदी जो बिल्कुल ख़त्म हो रही. सरकार को तो इससे फायदा है लेकिन आम जनता को इससे कोई फ़ायदा नहीं मिल पा रहा है.
तो यहाँ के लोगों के लिए गंगा का मतलब पूजा नहीं है, वो हरिद्वार से नीचे है लोगों का मतलब. हमारा मतलब तो ये है कि हमको गंगा का पानी पीने के लिए चाहिए.
If we don't accept our mistakes and act collectively and wisely, there will be a day when no single drop of water would remain in holy Ganga.
पर्वत की चिट्ठी ले जाना, पर्वत की चिट्ठी ले जाना, तू सागर की ओर, नदी तू बहती रहना, 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 नदी तू बहती रहना. एक दिन मेरे गांव में आना बहुत उदासी है, एक दिन मेरे गांव में आना बहुत उदासी है. सबकी प्यास बुझाने वाली तू खुद प्यासी है, सबकी प्यास बुझाने वाली तू खुद प्यासी है. तेरी प्यास नदी तू बहती रहना, नदी तू बहती रहना, नदी तू बहती रहना, नदी तू बहती रहना। पर्वत की चिट्ठी ले जाना तू सागर की ओर, नदी तू बहती रहना, नदी तू बहती रहना, नदी तू बहती रहना, नदी तू बहती रहना। तू ही मंदिर, तू ही मस्जिद, तू ही पंच प्रयाग, तू ही मंदिर, तू ही मस्जिद, तू ही पंच प्रयाग। तू ही सीढ़ीदार खेत है, तू ही रोटियां, तू ही सीढ़ीदार खेत है, तू ही रोटियां। तुझे